Hi, I'm Suryansh Kushwaha, and today I'm here with my own YouTube channel. Well, it's been about 2 years, or maybe a bit less than that, since I did a video on some other YouTube channel, and since then I've been getting insane amount of queries on my LinkedIn and also on my Instagram. And so I thought of coming up with my own YouTube channel so that I can answer all of your queries which you've been asking me about my life here in Singapore, about the uni, about the scholarship, about the food, about the people, about the job, and the list goes on. So I intend to cover all of those aspects in the videos which I make slowly one by one. And I think I understand there's not really a lot of videos up online for Singapore as compared to what we have for the US or the UK, right? So yeah, I'm here to fill in the white so that it might help you eventually, right? So that's the entire idea. That's the gist. So yeah, let's begin. All right. So first things first. I'm Suryansh Kushwaha, and I'm a computer science major student at the National University of Singapore. And I am just done with my year two. I'll be moving on to my year three pretty soon in like probably August. And this is my summer break going on. And currently I'm in my dorm. I'm in my dorm. And देसी हूँ भाई मैं, ठीक है, लखनऊ से हूँ मैं, और that's about it. Okay, so let's begin. Let us begin. So basically, I come from a middle class family in India. And I don't know about you guys, but for us, at least the middle class family, wait, I said as if I'm very old, but for us, middle class family meant like the study abroad, the term in itself is sort of like an idea and like a dream, right? Because if you need to study abroad, you need the money, and it's just way too expensive for us. And that was the case for me. So if I want to go abroad, then I need to have a loan. But I would say that I'm very thankful that I went to a sort of like a nice school in my city, which gave me an exposure to everything about study abroad. They had like multiple sessions, and we even had a very nice study abroad counselor, which really helped me a lot. So I would say that I was a bit privileged as compared to the other normal typical school students to actually study abroad. What do they need to do? What are the different options available to us? But for me, I would say that I knew it. So that is something which I gained from my school. And so the study abroad idea was sort of in there. Although I did talk to my parents when I was like in like what, seventh, eighth standard, study abroad, but then they always said like, "Paise kahan hai? Like, where's the money? Like, how are we even gonna afford it for you? Like, if this happens, then we might end up taking a student loan, and then you'll just have to repay it." And for me personally, I just didn't want to take a student loan. That's it. That was all. And so I made a deal with them that if somehow I'm able to get a good scholarship, then I'll just go. Like, I don't care about studying here anymore. I'll just go. And they were like, "Yeah, okay. I mean, if you can do it, if you can go and study for free, then yeah, sure, go ahead." So yeah, that was about it for me. So, but then, like, I had to give. You have to give the standardized tests, right? Like the SATs or SATs. But then I don't know. I just felt like the SAT was like 7,000 rupees, and that was a lot for me. So I was like, okay, yeah, you know what? Let's just forget about it. I'm not gonna give SATs like to the US applications. The UK applications are just too much for me. Let's just stay simple. And I like computing. I'm just gonna study for computing. So I was like, okay, if that's not happening, I want to at least go to a good college. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna prepare for IIT because that's like the best. IIT or like BITS, which is a private college, sort of at par with IIT, right? So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna do that. So after my 10th standard, I sort of had a good percentage. Is 10th, I had 97.4%. But after my 10th standard, I was like, okay, I'm just going to study for IIT exams. So I started preparing for IIT in my 11th standard, and I studied a lot for it in my 11th and my 12th. In 12th, I gave the IIT exam. I qualified NEET with sort of like good marks, and I did qualify the advanced, but I didn't really get a good enough rank so as to get a nice college. So I was like, okay, you know what, I'm just gonna take a drop here and I'm gonna study again. But okay, I don't know about you guys, if you have been through it or if you've felt it before, but taking a drop year is nerve-wracking because of like you don't know if you're gonna get IIT, like that's something which you want, right? So I was like, okay, I don't know if I'm gonna get IIT. Well, what are the other options do I have? I don't want to go to a private college and just study, and it's going to be worthless, like, because the private college degrees are just worthless in India. I mean, that's the case in India at least. So I was like, okay, yeah, I don't want to go to a weird ass private college. What are the other options? So I was like, okay, you know what? I'm just going to look for the colleges which don't take any standardized tests, SATs, ACT, IELTS, or TOEFL, or stuff like that. I'm like, okay, yeah, I don't want to do that because I am fully focused for my IIT exams, but I need a second option. Like, if I'm not able to get into IIT, what do I do? So I was like, okay, you know what? Just gonna search for the universities, and I did that. And then I found, like, okay, Hong Kong, Singapore, and Australia, they don't really need the standardized tests. So I was like, okay, yeah, these are the good universities for me. I'm just gonna apply there, and that's it. And so for Singapore and Hong Kong, I applied. So for that, I prepared my personal statement, and I would say that I give it a solid 3 months. And now one would say that, wow, you just said that you were preparing for IIT. How did you give 3 months, right? So what did I do basically was every single day, about 30 minutes or so, I would just take and I would reflect that what do I need to write in my personal statement, and that's it. That's about it. I didn't do anything else. So yeah, so I would do that, and finally I came up with a personal statement. So uh, oh yeah, I forgot about Australia. So what happened for Australia was that, again, for Singapore and Hong Kong, the what do you call it? What fee? You need to, the application fees, yes. So the application fees was pretty low. So it was like 1,000 rupees or 1,500 rupees, something like that. So I was like, yeah, okay, I'm just gonna give it from my own. But for the Australia one, the application fee in itself was like 10,000 rupees, or quite a lot. So I was like, okay, yeah, I don't wanna spend money at all. So I came up with a solution. So I was like, okay, you know what? There's this thing called IDP. I just went to them and I asked them, okay, I want to apply there, and they give you like a concession, or they have some sort of tie-up or something like that, and they just helped me fill the form for free. So yeah, you can just fill n number of forms for free through IDP. So that's what I did. So I applied to Singapore, Hong Kong, and Australia. And after applying all these places, I am still studying for IIT. I'm still studying minimum 10 hours to maximum of 13-14 hours per day throughout my drop year. So yeah, that's the entire backstory of how I sort of ended up applying to NUS, or to study abroad, colleges abroad, from basically just preparing from IIT, because I needed a second option, that what if it happens that I'm not able to qualify for IIT. So yeah, that's about it. Okay, so now moving on. So basically, I applied to NUS, NTU, which are in Singapore, HKUST in Hong Kong, and UniMel, University of Melbourne, University of Sydney, and Monash University in Australia. So yeah, I'm not sure if I mentioned this before, but like these are the universities which I researched about. And basically, it was like a deal with my dad that if I'm not able to go to the IIT, then the universities which I'm going should at least be better than IIT in some aspect or the other. So what did I do? I just went to QS rankings, right? Like that's the common thing which everyone does. So I was like, okay, these all are ranked way better than the IIT. So I was like, okay, I'll just go there. I'm not saying that IIT is not a good college. It's definitely the best in India. But I would say that I personally wanted to have some more exposure as compared to the normal IITs have. So I was like, okay, yeah, I'll just go abroad. So yeah, that's what happened. And then probably in March, if I'm not wrong, I got offer letter from Australia, University of Melbourne, and they offered me 100% scholarship. But now the question was that the 100% scholarship covered only the tuition fees. I still need to live there. Plus, the job prospects of computer science in Australia is not really allowed, because the UniMel degree was just 3-year degree. That meant that I basically have to do masters over there. And University of Monash, I don't think I got in University of Monash. University of Sydney I did get in, but they didn't give me any scholarship, so that's not an option anymore. So I really thought about it, University of Melbourne, for a very long time. I thought, okay, you know what, I'm just gonna work part-time and try to earn money to pay my rent and everything. I came up with the entire plan, but then after considering all the factors that I need to work, and then how I'm gonna basically manage exams along with my work, because personally I don't have the idea of how people actually do it out there, right? What if I'm not able to do it? So at the end, I will have to take a loan. So just to be on the safer side, I was like, okay, not really good job prospects. I'll have to do masters. I'll have to work along with my studies. So I was like, okay, let's just drop this idea. So I didn't accept the University of Melbourne offer. So after that, I mean, of course, I was a bit sad, but like, okay, I again started preparing for IIT. Then I heard back from HKUST probably March, April, May. Probably April if I'm not wrong, or maybe May. I think it was May. And then again, HKUST did not offer me the full scholarship. So I did email them that can you please reconsider, blah blah blah, but they didn't really did that. So I was like, okay, HKUST is again off the charts. Then the only hope which I have left is NUS and NTU. Then I think on the 10th, wait, so first I got the offer letter from NTU, and they didn't in May end or June, early June. But NTU didn't offer me computer science. They offered me my fourth choice. So that was like, okay, now NTU is sort of an option, but they're giving me the fourth choice. So I was like, okay, no, probably not NTU as of now. It's on the back burner, but they didn't offer me the scholarship yet. And with NUS and NTU, they offer you the offer letter first and then the scholarship. Sometimes it happens that they offer you together, but that's what they usually do. They first offer you the scholarship, the offer letter, and then they give you the scholarship offer, which is a separate thing. So these two are separate. So I was like, okay, I'm waiting for NTU to give me the scholarship. Otherwise, this is not an option, so I'm still preparing for IIT. Then on 10th of June, I got offer letter from NUS, which also happens to be my birthday, so it was like the best thing ever. So I got in through NUS and they gave me computer science. So I was like, okay, let's go. I got computer science. And now my parents, seeing that I actually got into NUS and NTU and so many other universities, so they were like, okay, you know what, we are okay for us to take a loan for you because NUS is really a good university. So we started looking for the loan options out there and we went to different banks and everything. But in the end, so I got an offer in June and we were looking for loan options. I'm still preparing for IIT, by the way. And then in probably like July, 4th of July or something like that, first week of July, I got the invitation for scholarship interview from NTU. So I gave the NTU of scholarship one interview and they asked me a couple of questions. I think I can make another video about this later on. What did they ask me? And then they asked me a couple of questions, and at the end they also did ask me that did I apply anywhere else, and I said yeah, I did apply to NUS. Then they said, oh, do you want to go there? So I was like, I might go there only if NUS offers me a scholarship, because it's a big thing for me because I cannot afford the tuition fees at all. Then they said okay, and turns out the next day I got interview for NUS, and the next day I gave interview for NUS, and it was CS. So probably in the next 2 or 3 days I got to know that okay, my interview went well and I actually did get the scholarship. So I was like, okay, let's go. So I have NUS computer science, I have the scholarship, and this scholarship does not just cover the tuition fees, it also covers your living expenses. So basically I will have no burden of earning money or any sort of thing like that. So basically I'll be studying for free, like totally free. I'll be living abroad and studying abroad for free. So I was like, okay, this is the win-win situation. So now, it was only now when I told my parents that, okay, I got the scholarship, I got the offer letter, now what? Do I go? So they were like, yeah, okay, just go. Like they were like, yeah, NUS is a good uni. I mean, I also did get the scholarship offer from NTU, but at the end I chose NUS over NTU. Two reasons: NUS is the oldest university, and also I just feel like NUS is the best university for everything. Although NTU has a better ranking for engineering courses, but NUS, I still feel that NUS is good for engineering as well. So I was like, yeah, okay, I'm going to NUS because they're giving me my desired major and they're giving me the scholarship. So I chose NUS at the end. And this is when I was like, oh, okay, it's really happening. So I dropped preparing for JEE anymore. I gave like 2-3 JEE mains exam because it was COVID time, so we had multiple JEE mains exam. So I gave like 2 or 3, I don't really remember how many. Then my JEE advanced exam was actually after the joining date of NUS, so I just dropped the idea of giving the exam. Although it felt like, okay, I should have given the exam at least because I did prepare so much for it. But then after all, I was like, okay, you know what, I don't want to go IIT anymore. Let's just go there. I've done enough studying already. So okay, NUS it is. And now it was actually happening that now, okay, I am actually going to NUS. Yeah, so that's about it. So everything sort of changed suddenly. Like I was preparing for IIT, now suddenly out of nowhere I'm going to Singapore and I'm going to study in NUS. So it was sort of a shock for everyone, not just my family but also my relatives, because suddenly now they are hearing that, oh, Suresh is going to Singapore. Like it was never an option at all that I'll be going abroad or anything like that. And suddenly they're like, oh, okay, oh, wait, what? Where did your son go? Oh, he's in Singapore. So yeah, so everything sort of happened very fast because I need to go to Singapore in July, and in the first week of July I heard back from them. So for the next 2 weeks I just like did some basic college shopping, and I took my flight on like 27th or 28th of July, and then I came to Singapore. Also, I came all alone here because like who want to spend so much money on the tickets, right? So I just booked a ticket for myself and I came to Singapore and I settled down here in my dorm room. Yeah, so I feel that's my entire story of how from IIT to Singapore. So that's about it. I don't know if any one of you relate to this story or if you went through anything sort of the same, but I just felt like I wanted to share this, so I just did. And if you have any sort of questions, anything at all, you can just comment down below. I'm more than happy to help you out. Yeah, and if you like this video, please do subscribe. In the future, I intend on making the application video, like the application process. I do have everything like saved up there, so I can show you everything how I did it, so that you sort of get an idea as to how to go about it. The application video, the jobs video, the food which I eat, the friends, everything which I do here. So I'm gonna be posting that soon, and stay tuned and do subscribe to follow my journey. Okay, thank you, bye bye, peace.
चलो अब सब्सक्राइब कर भी दो यार, बटन सामने ही है। ये ना पसंद आया तो नीचे भी है।